Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and don't forget to check out the links under the video. Today there'll be two links to two puzzles I'm doing in this video. So I've had a few occasions recently where people have been delighted to have beaten my time for the first time in a while or something, and they hadn't noticed that I'd done two puzzles. So I have a little chuckle to myself when I spot something like that. Now, there are two puzzles today. I'll explain why in a minute, but first of all, there are other links under the video, and they are to things like our Patreon site, where you can get all sorts of other content, Sudokus and crosswords, and our 600k celebration pack, which is fabulous, for instance. To the spreadsheet of all our puzzles maintained by the marvellous Vebi, who keeps it up to date in a phenomenally good manner. And there are thousands of those videos and puzzles that we have done on the channel. We've got, of course, all our apps, and there are basically nearly 1,000 puzzles across all of those apps, which you can have a go at. Very reasonably priced, I have to say. And there's our merchandise. Maybe I won't say the same about that, but it is quality stuff. Look at that. Cracking the Cryptic water bottle. Fantastic. And of course there is Sven's Sudoku pad, which is very reasonably priced. Great stuff. And we do urge you to interact with the channel. We love it when you do. Now, we got an email in from Damasosos92 suggesting that we try his Irregular puzzles, which are, well, Damasosos said that they are a mix. Well, no, they're like Quattro Quadri. Now, that might have been helpful if I knew my way around Snackdoku and could remember what a Quattro Quadri was, which I don't particularly do. I can't particularly. So it didn't help me a lot. But a tester has looked at these puzzles, and she suggested that I put the first two into one video and the third one into a second. She's very good, I think, normally at knowing what suits me and how a puzzle will turn out on video. So I'm going to try this. We're going to do two today, and one, it might be tomorrow unless some important date intervenes, but you will see it soon. And the first two are my first Irregular, appropriately, and the Irregular City. So I'll look at those, both of them in this video, and then there is a third, presumably harder puzzle to come. So you can give them a try as well. Now, be very careful with the rows. You may look at these and think, oh, it's a 6x6 puzzle. I understand how they work. But I'm going to explain the rules very carefully. Normal Sudoku rules do not apply. You have to place the digits 1 to 9 into the grid without repeats in rows, columns, or outlined irregular regions. So no repeats in this region, and I think that's 9 cells big, so that will give us a clue as to what's going on. Now, in this first puzzle, adjacent digits in green lines differ by at least 5. It's this classic German whisper rule. You could put 1 and 6 on these cells, or 1 and 8, but not 3 and 7. So I'm going to start with this one and give it a try. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do the rules of the second puzzle. No, I'll do the rules of the second puzzle when we get there. Let's have a go at this. Let's restart the clock. Let's get cracking. So the thing to note is that there are 4 9-cell regions, and they are going to contain, each of them is going to contain the digits 1 to 9. That's by rule. Now, obviously, every row and column are not each going to contain all of the digits 1 to 9, because there's only room for 6 digits in them. But we can still pull several of our normal tricks, actually, with German whispers. One of those is knowing that 5 never goes on a green line. So I'm going to take this region and say, where does 5 go in it? Never on a green line, must be in one of those 2 cells. And in this region, it's a little harder to pencil mark, but 5 must be in one of those 2 cells which don't have green lines on. And that resolves 5 in this region, because we're not allowed to repeat that 5 in column 3. So that's not a 5, and that is. And in this region, okay, this is good. This is going to give me another 5. 5 can't be there because there's a 5 in one of those two cells in this little squat region. 5 can't be there because of the 5 we've put there. It mustn't be on a green line. So now it's in one of those two. And that's an X-wing with the 5 that has to be in one of those two. That's going to use up 5s in both of those rows. I'm not going to call them the 5s in row 5 and 6, because row 5 and 6 don't have to have 5s until we've found that there is a 5 in one of those and a 5 in one of those. Now we know this can't be a 5, and this is the fourth region's, or the second region as I counted them out, 5. Now, the next thing we know about green lines, apart from 5s, is that with 5s eliminated, they have to alternate between high and low digits. Digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5. So we can mark up that alternation, I would say, along any lines that are being, any cells that are being touched by these two, by this linked long line. So let's make some of them green and some of them purple. I'd love to make them blue and orange, but I don't know what's high and low yet. But I think that is alternating between green and purple. The green is not a very prepossessing colour. Let's go for the bright green. There we go. Now, yeah, that does tell us some things. Well, little things. In this box, we've got 4 purples and 3 greens coloured. There must be 4 purples and 4 greens in it, so this cell is going to be green. In this box, less easy, but we have 2 purples and 3 greens highlighted. This is going to be one of each. We don't know the order, but we know it's 1 green and 1 purple. That's going to use up all the greens, and this is purple. Now, in this region, it's even more abstruse, I think. We've got 2 purples and 2 greens highlighted, and that's going to be one of each. So the rest of this is going to be 1 of each and a 5. So here, there's a low digit in one of those cells and a 5 in the other, because we know 6 is high. Okay, that didn't get me very far. So we go to the third thing which we know about green lines. And that is, well, not just that 6 and 4 are quite hard to place on them, which they are, because if their 2 neighbours can see each other, then it's impossible for a digit to be 6 or 4. But what that means is that for the cells where neighbours can see each other, you must not have 6 or 4, and you must have 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 or 9. So this cell, for instance, has those 2 neighbours that see each other in the same column. This one has any pair of 2 neighbours virtually seeing each other. Anything in a straight line, the inner cells have neighbours that see each other. But this one has neighbours that see each other because they're in the same region, and this one too. So there are quite a lot of cells here that cannot be 6 or 4. And I'm going to mark them up with the candidate numbers because I can't think of any other way of doing this. That one and that one. Now, I might have missed one, but I'm being careful not to over-presume. So those are available from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And this is a sequence here. I mean, no, sorry, it's a sextuple in the same region of those 6 digits. So these other cells are 4 and 6, and this is telling us that green is low because that given 6 sees that cell. That's clearly 4, that's clearly 6. Purple can become high, green can become low, we'll go with blue, and now we can do some serious reduction of these pencil marks. And they're down to a maximum 3 in each box, which is in each cell, which is much neater. Now, have we got any other triples and things forming? Not obviously to me. We've got a 6 on a line though, so that's a 1 that it has to be next to. That takes 1 out of this cell. This is now 2 or 3. Now this, no, I was going to make one of them not 7, but I don't think I can actually do that. Bother. I'm slightly missing the point, sorry. Maybe we should be looking for places to put 6. Is that reasonable? Yeah, look for a place to put 6 in this region. That is reasonable. 6 can't go there by Sudoku or there by Sudoku, and therefore it has to be on this line. In fact, we know exactly where. It has to be there, and this is a 1. We might as well colour those just for the fun. The colouring is good in the regions which have 9 cells, less good in the rows and columns which rarely reach their maxima. So these digits, well, they could include a 4, so I can't just type in 2 and 3. Now, 6 in this region, not there. It could be here. It can't be here. It's not, well, there, okay, but there is a 6 in this region. We've got 3 6s in the grid. That 6 can't be here because that can't be a 1. So it's either there or there, weirdly. That wasn't as helpful as I expected. We've got a 1 in this region. So those two are a 2-3 pair. This can't be 7 now because it's touching both of them. Now, this is 1 or 4 because it sees that 2-3 pair in the column. We've got 2 of the, it's not 1, it's in the same region as a 1 that we've put in. So that's 4, and its 2 neighbours are both 9s. And that must help. That's 2 of the 9s we need. This becomes an 8. That can't be 4 now. That can't be 4 because this region has got its 4. Must keep working in regions. We've got to put 7 and 8 in this remaining, in the remaining cells of the left-hand region. In they go. 7 must be touching 2 on the whisper. This region, we just got 1 digit to fill. It's a 7. That must be touching 2 on the whisper again. This is now not a 7. This is not an 8 by Sudoku. This is not a 2 by Sudoku, so that's good. That region's complete. This is a 1. Now, there's a low digit on this, which is 2 or 4. And the high digit is therefore 8 or 9. Now, I should work on the regions. This region, we're beginning to get some digits. 1, 2, and 6. So the low digit on here is not 1 or 2 or 3, which is used in the row. So the low digit on here is 4. Okay, I might get rid of the colours. No, let's just keep going as we are. These are a 5-3 pair now. And now we've just really got this region left to do, and that 3-5 pair. This can't be 9 or 8 or 7, but it's high, so that's 6. That gives us a 1 in the corner. All the 1s are done. This is high and not 6 or 9. Oh, this is even better. This sees 6 in the region and 7, 8 in the row. That is 7 or 8. So this one is a 3. It sees 1 and 2. That fixes 5 and 3. That fixes 5. And the region now has 3, 5, 9, 1, 6. That's a naked 2. That's a naked 8. 7 there. 4 in the corner to finish off. And that's the correct solution to my first Irregular by Damasosos. And I'm going to do the second one now. So let's do the rules of this. Again, we place the digits 1 to 9 in the grid without repeats in each row, column, and outlined region. Exactly the same. This time we don't have German whispers, we have skyscrapers. Each cell represents a skyscraper whose height is the digit in that cell. So this is a 2 height cell. Taller skyscrapers obscure the view of smaller ones, and clues outside the grid tell you how many skyscrapers are visible looking across the row or column from the direction of the clue. So we will see 4 in this row from the right. That may be this, well, we will see that one. Then this might be taller. It doesn't really matter that we will see 4 taller ones as we keep going. Okay, now let's get cracking on this one. In a regular skyscraper, with the maximum number, you just write in the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we're using all the digits from 1 to 9 this time. So I don't know how to use them. I'm not great at skyscraper logic. Let me try and figure out what's going on, and I'm sure we ought to start with this 6. I mean, it's like a thermo. Let's draw a thermo in. Why not? Because it's bonkers? Okay, that's true. But look at my little thermo there. That must be right, given the 6 clue. Yeah, and that 1 clue means that this digit is higher than those two. So this digit is higher than all of these 6 digits in the same region. So that is at least 7. 7 or 8 there, 8 or 9 there. Now this can't be a 9 because of this 2 clue looking along here. A 9 could only let that be a 1 clue. So that's 8 and that's 7. And this must be where 9 goes in the region, and that fits with the 1 clue going down. Excellent. Okay, that's a start. And basically, let's get rid of the mark. Oh no, let's not get rid of the markings because I still have to ascend here. In fact, let's pencil mark. Okay, and 4 and 3 in the same row. Well, they have to go up, 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 stop, and up, up, stop. So again, we could draw some thermos in a different colour maybe. One going that way. Well, and one going that way. Looks like the London Underground now, but the Victoria line. But this is... I'm sorry, I've got them the wrong way round, haven't I? Oh, and that's annoying. I have got them the wrong way round. We'll undo that. We're increasing from here to there. And in a different colour, we're increasing from there to there. And so this is the high point. This could be a 9. In fact, it can't be a 9. Oh, that's interesting. We've got a 1 at the top of this column. This has to be at least a 6 because all of these 5 digits are smaller. So I'm going to put 6 or 7 in there. And this has to be higher than that because it gets seen and nothing else in the column gets seen, but it's not a 9. So that is 7 or 8. Seven is the highest in this row, so all of these are smaller. None of them are 8 or 9. But 9 is in this row, in one of those cells by Sudoku. And that 2 is now fulfilled. Now, 7 or 6, we have to ascend from there to there. That's easily done. I just hadn't seen how. 4, 5, 6, 7, and this becomes 8. And these don't have a 4 in. And in fact, they must go 4, 3, 2, 1. Actually, that's probably been... No, that hasn't been obvious for ages, but now I can put 6 and 5 in the same region. And I've finished this region. Let's get rid of that. Markings, there we go. And actually, let's get rid of this marking too. Because that's done its job. Now, these are 1 or 2, 2 or 3. And let's look at this region. We've put 5, 6, 7 into it already. Where are we going to put a 2 in this region? It's quite difficult. There's only one place. There. So that's a 1, and now we can get rid of that pencil marking as well. 5, 6, 7, 2. So we've got 1, 4, 3, 8, 9 to put in. The rest are not so obvious. How are we doing on 2s though? We've got 3 of them. This region needs a 2 still. But it could be in any of those cells. That's so strange. Okay, skyscraper clues that are done. I need to mark them off. So I'm going to colour the cells nearest them. That one is done. That one looking down is done. That is done as long as I don't put a 9 in the column. I'm not going to mark it because that is still something to fulfill. This is not done at all. This one is done and this 3 is done. This one is not done, and these cells have to be below 7 and not 6 or 5. So that one can't be a 1 because it's in the same region with a 1. This one is going to need the 9, then it'll be fulfilled. Okay. Now, in this region, we're going to see the 8 and we're going to see the 9. And these must ascend. So I could put a little thermo in there. I mean, I could only have drawn it one cell, to be honest. It's very obvious that it must rise to the 8. 5, 6, 7, oh, we need an 8 in this region. That's actually very easy now. Law of leftovers. So a bit of set theory. No, set theory won't work because you can't compare a region with a set of rows that have to have the same digits. So forget the law of leftovers today. It's no use. Oh, have I thought about this 4? No, I haven't. This 4 is very interesting. It means that digit is higher than those two, because we're going to see 5, 6, 7. So that is a 4, so that can then be lower. 3, 4, and that's a 1, and we're done in that row. And this shape now is going to have 2, 5, 6, 7, 9 down here. That is 2. I'm going to pencil mark them because it might help later. I said that can't be a 9. That's because of this 8, the 1 clue. Oh, there's a lot of pencil marks in that last cell. Never mind. Now, this region has got 4, 3, 8, and 9 to place. 9's in one of those cells, 8's in one of those two, and 4's in one of those. 3, I mean, is in one of those. This cell actually sees 3, 9, and 8, so it's a naked 4. Now, the skyscrapers, that one is done. This one is done. This one, well, it's going to be done when we put the 9 in this region. I'm not going to worry about that. This one is seeing 3 and 4. And I was going to say it must see something else there before 8. The only way we can keep this down to 3 is if it sees a 9 in one of those positions. And actually, the 9 in this region has to be in one of those positions because there's a 3, 8, 9 triple there and a 9 there. So that's going to make the, well, the only way that could be a 9 for this 3 to work is if that's a 1. That's quite interesting. We've still got this to work. That 2 and 3 are definitely going to be hidden behind something. But I don't know if it's 2 cells or 1. So we're not finished yet. This is 5, 6, or 7. It's seeing that 3, 8, 9 triple. 8, 9. This clue means that that can't be a 9, of course. And now that clue is done. And that is going to fix 8 and 9 here, which is good. That can't be a 9 now. So 9's definitely in one of these. And now this can't be a 9, which is much more important. Because what we just said is if 9 goes there, this has to be hidden and is a 1. And that clue is done. 1, 2, 9, 8. We've got a 2, 7 pair here. Good pencil marking. Excellent. That can't be 9. We seem to only have one place for 9 in the bottom row. So I'm writing it in. 9, 4, 1, 8. This, I mean, we're still not finished with this puzzle, I don't think. And we still have a number of clues to fulfill. Right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this thermo that I've created. I'm going to turn it around that way. Because to fulfill this 3 clue, we need to climb from there to there before the 9. And to fulfill this 4 clue, we need to climb from there to there. So this region, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to go. So this is 3 or 5. This is 4, 5, or 6. And this is 5, 6, or 7, according to my terminology. Now, this is a 2 clue, and that means this has to be higher than this before the 9 gets seen. So this is not 7, and this is not 5, and this is now smaller on this thermo that I created, and this must be 3 as a result. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light losing its religion. Now, that has to be 4 or 7 just by virtue of everything else that it sees. I haven't done all the clues, although once I fill this in, that 2 is done. And once I fill this in, that 3 is done. So maybe I have done all the clues. I've done this 4 clue. I have done all the skyscraper clues. Now, okay, I'm going to use that 5-6 pair to make this a 4. That makes this a 7. That sorts out 2 and 7. And then, this region needs a 6 and a 5, and I can fill those in. Let's get rid of the the thermo I created. Let's get rid of all the orange digits. They're no longer needed. We highlight them like that. And we fill in 6 and 5, and we have done 2 of these irrequadries today, with 1 to come soon. Thank you for watching. Excellent puzzles, very interesting, slightly different way of thinking as usual when you come down to a different rule set like that, but I enjoyed that a lot. And I hope you did. I hope you had a go at the puzzles. We will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.